Yeah, no, I have some comments that I wanted to just put on record. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I know it's getting late, but wanted to take this time because I know we're not going to meet until next month after this meeting, and wanted to just provide some comments and concerns that I've had over the past few weeks, and wanted just to bring some attention to this issue with my colleagues and with the public. Over the past few months, our Sacramento community and our region has endured, I think many of you know, ICE raids, kidnapping of loved ones in our neighborhoods, and our neighbors being detained at the federal mosque building. And this issue in particular doesn't just impact Sacramentans, but it impacts so many of our family and neighbors and loved ones throughout our country. And over the past few weeks and months, I have had the opportunity to attend visuals, supporting mutual aid efforts, and just so proud of our community standing up and holding the line. And earlier this month, I had the opportunity to attend a peaceful protest at the John Moss Federal Building with advocates. And while I was there speaking to some of the community organizers and folks that have been peacefully assembling and protesting, it was brought to my attention that there were several residents in our city at the John Moss building that was not only targeted and cited by federal agents, but also by Sacramento PD as well. And in particular, one resident was cited for jaywalking while he was checking on residents across the street. I've shared the contact and the citation of the individual who lives in Vice Mayor Talamantes' district, and I have also shared this with the interim city manager as well. As I understand in conversation, that the ticket is being reviewed at this moment, and hopefully it will be dismissed. But I'm sharing this with my colleagues because at the end of the day, really, we are the ones really at the local level that have to do everything we can to hold the line for our families and our communities. And I also just want to say, I know that, our police officers, they do everything they can to really protect our communities. And I just want to say that, if we want to build genuine trust between community and law enforcement, especially in these really dangerous times, it is really essential that, we do everything we can to avoid issuing unnecessary citations. And if we expect the community to feel respected, and heard, our actions also has to reflect this. Public safety is critically important, especially in this moment. But I just want to say that even as a city, we can't effectively do our jobs if community members don't feel safe or comfortable calling for help from SAC PD because of instances that I just mentioned. And so I think strengthening the sense of safety and trust is key to ensuring that our residents can actually feel safe to reach out. And that's really important for me. And so I just wanted to name that. I also want to appreciate that I have been in conversation with Vice Mayor Talamantes and Mayor Pro Tem Arriguera on the issue as well, and hoping that we will work with SAC PD to develop some internal protocols. That said, I also want to respond to a letter that was sent today to all of my colleagues that was actually drafted from the community regarding their fears and their concerns about federal agents and ICE officers and how we should actually respond at the local level. The letter was actually signed by multiple organizations from NorCal Resist, Latino organizations led by students like Mecha at Sacramento State, Hmong Innovating Politics, Public Health Advocates, Decarcerate Sacramento, and many more organizations. And the letter did request that we update our sanctuary policies to ensure that we could do more to protect our communities at the local level. Something I do want to mention is that I know that our sanctuary resolution and our immigration platform has not been updated since 2017. And I do support our community efforts and call that we do everything we can to actually update our resolution to make sure that we can respond appropriately on the ground in these difficult times, and also make sure that we provide clear direction to city manager and SAC PD. What I want to share with the public and community members, because I've received a lot of phone calls as well, is that earlier today I did get an opportunity to meet with both Vice Mayor Talamantes and Mayor Pro Tem Guerra and our city attorney as well. And I did share with them some of the key changes and requests that community have asked us. And a lot of these changes are very similar to what's happening in Chicago and LA as well. And I just wanted to name some of the key components that I will be sharing with Mayor Pro Tem Guerra and Vice Mayor Talamantes, who's also co-leading and spearheading and co-leading this effort as well. One section I think that's going to be really important to update our resolution is to prohibit the use of any city parking lots, garages as staging areas and operation base for immigration enforcement purposes. Other cities has done this, and it's really important that in the city of Sacramento we name this and do this as well. Another section that the community calls out for is to limit access of any data, any city data in particular, to trace a person's citizenship or immigration status to federal agents to the extent that's permitted by law. And so that's a request that I'm making as well. And another section affirming that residents can peacefully assemble and protest on city-owned property, especially around the John Moss Federal Building as a free speech zone. Any place that we go to should be automatically already a free speech zone, but I know that it is important for us to reaffirm that as the city of Sacramento. I know that other cities have done that. I want to make sure that we follow suit. And then a section to reaffirm SB 627, which is about the No Secret Police Act, to make sure that we're in alignment with California as well. And so I just wanted to name a few of these items in particular, put it on public record, and also share with the community that, you know, there is a commitment from me and also Vice Mayor Talamantes and Mayor Pro Tem Guerra to ensure that we incorporate these recommendations in our immigration platform and our sanctuary resolution. So I just want to speak to community directly because I've got a lot of calls, text messages as well, is that, you know, for the community in particular, I just want you to know that we are urgently working to ensure that our policies and our protocols are fully up to date. I mean, you have my commitment, and I trust that you'll have the commitment of the full mayor and council as well. And so we will be submitting this to the full council, hopefully without any delay, because we have to do everything we can to hold the line, to stand firmly with our immigrant and refugee and mixed status family, because their protection and support cannot wait. And so I just wanted to reaffirm that to folks who are watching, folks who have called me, called our office, texted me, advocates as well that I've spoken to, that we will do everything we can to update our policy and protocols and make sure that we implement to create a city where our residents truly feel protected. And so those are my comments.